Hi, everybody. Welcome to my homestead and welcome to my channel. My name is Jared. Today, I'm interviewing Madeline and Rochelle. They have a channel called Historic Harmonies, and they're one of the ones that decided to do a new YouTube channel. And I just want to introduce you to them. So, Historic Harmonies, what is the channel about, and what inspired you to do it?
We've been looking into different schooling things this last year and really getting interested in a lot of older literature. And I was in an antique store down in Texas, and I found this book it was like from the early 1900s, and it had all these beautiful, beautiful songs and wonderful messages for mothers in it. And it just really connected with all the things that we had been learning about and connecting with beforehand. And so I showed it to Madeline, and Madeline came up with the idea of doing Historic Harmonies, which is where we share those, it's mostly music, sometimes like poetry and nature things, and just different things that speak to the heart. And we're trying to connect to the hearts of children and mothers as well, to just help bring that joy into the home, and help mothers be able to bring that joy into the home, because we've found that it really makes a difference in the home environment and in the relationship between the mother and the child, or the nurturer and the child. And yeah, it's been great.
Yeah, I'm sorry if they're screaming in the background. My kids are cleaning their room.
That's okay. It occasionally happens in my videos. So.
Yeah. Sounds like
in fact, you might hear some like power equipment in the background because we're having our bathroom remodeled right now. But okay, so you were in Texas and you guys are in St. George, right? St. George, right. Utah. What were you doing in Texas? Just out of curiosity, because I lived there for a few years when I was in the Army.
Oh, cool. I'm originally from Houston, so I was visiting family.
Okay, I like Houston. I've been there one time. There was a rodeo, or there was no, not rodeo. There was a rodeo, but it was like the state fair, and it was really fun.
Oh, fun.
Now,
yeah,
go ahead.
Sorry, she brought that book. We did math for our kindergartners at the park all year, and so 2 or 3 times a week we would like just hang out for an hour and a half or after we taught the kids. And she brought this book, like, look at this cool book, because we love old things, and really kindred spirits. And I was like, oh, this is so cool. And then I started searching on the Internet Archives to see if I could find any more, and they were kind of hard to find, but we found a ton after a lot of searching. And the music is just so beautiful. You know, the music we have today, it's so shallow, really repetitive, not very creative. Yeah. The music isn't that great. Just people put out music to get the music out, you know. But in all of these books, they're just gorgeous. Like, there's some that I open it and I play the song for the first time on the piano and sing it, and I cry because it's just so pure and lovely, and it turns your heart to God and the beautiful creations of His. And when we started looking at these, we decided we needed to share them. We don't want these beautiful creations and tunes to go missing forever, you know. Yeah. Nobody knows them. It's kind of fun when you sing them for the first time and you're like, wow, I might be the first person to sing this in the past 100 years, because some of our books that we have found are like mid 1800s. So it is very, very fun and exciting.
It reminds me of like what I'm doing on my channel, how I go back and try and find things and put together these spreadsheets. Like, I'm doing this spreadsheet of like these visions and visitations of heavenly messengers, and there is so much that's already recorded. Like, people are always wanting like the next new thing. What's the next new experience, prophecy, incredible thing that's said by the prophet? But there's already been so much that I don't think a lot of us are aware of, especially when you put it all together. And it's the same with this. Like, there's already been so much art and music and stuff produced. Like, do we really like go back and appreciate what has already been done? Like, we do need to like do new things, but like you said, the state of music right now is pretty abysmal.
Yeah, it's really sad.
Even just going like back, me and Jenica were talking about the 90s yesterday, and like music from the 90s, and even that in a way has more quality or more wholesomeness in a sense compared to like whatever's being produced right. I don't even know, like, when it comes to like stuff right now, movies and music, I don't even know what there really is anymore, because like you don't have like big names like you used to.
And it's all and children's entertainment in general is extremely flashy, like so that it grabs the attention of the kids and sucks them in for like 15 episodes until you get sick of it and you turn it off. And we wanted to create something beautiful and fun and engaging where we can come to your home, hopefully teach the mothers and the fathers or the grandparents some of these songs so that they can then sing them with their children and create a beautiful environment together.
That's very good. How long have you guys known each other?
Well, I think like 3-4 years.
We're in the same ward.
Yeah.
Just down the street. We didn't really know each other though until like
this last year,
yeah,
mostly.
about a year and a half now.
All right, neat. And then there's like a story behind the theme song for the channel.
Yes. So I wasn't even thinking about it. And I was at math one day and Michelle was like, we should think of a theme song. And I was like, oh yeah, we should get a theme song, you know? And so I was thinking about it. I play 8 instruments. I'm an opera singer. I have
an opera singer?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Do a lot of different things. Anyways, and I have never really written a whole lot of music. My grandma is a published composer with like 7 different companies, and my mom composes, but I just have it's never clicked. And that's something I've always wanted. But she said that, and I was thinking about it, and we were going to go fill up our tank in the car, and all of a sudden the tune came to me, and so I just started singing it. It was like, come along and sing with me, come my friends. And then I imagined like little trumpets going do 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 do, historic harmonies. And then the kids in my car, they picked up and they started singing it. Like they had like immediately memorizing it. They were singing on the top of their lungs. And I was like, this is it. This is the theme song. So now I just had to put it to music. And my mom was watching the kids one morning, and I went home thinking, okay, I'm going to see if I can, I don't know, work this out somehow. I'm not very good at this. And I sat down and it just came out. I just played it and I wrote it down, and it was really beautiful. And I hurried and got out like 4 of my different instruments and recorded it with all the different parts and sang it. And it was done in like a half hour. And it was an absolute miracle and a gift that God gave me. Like, here's this song. This is something I want you to do. This is what I want it to sound like. And just gave it to me. And it was just a great gift.
That is so incredible. I love stuff like that. I love like when there's just pure inspiration. And I guess we won't know until after this live, maybe in the Millennium, I don't know, just what inspiration, like how everything worked, you know, because I'm sure maybe you had some part to do with it, with creating it, but also maybe there's like just some kind of like something happening on the other side where there's like a fusion, or maybe it was just purely from the other side. Like these are the questions that I want to have answered, but either way, it's really cool when there's inspiration like that. I've had that myself. I'm very like artistic, more like visual. I do really love music though. I love it. And there have been times where I've had like, I guess like tunes come to my mind that I wish I could like put it down on paper and like reproduce it. And I'm hoping sometime after this life, I'll have a perfect record of everything that I thought, and I can like then have the skills to like produce that music. But that's really cool that you have that skill. So music plays a really important role in your guys' families, right? Like, are you both like very musical?
I'm like moderate.
Yeah.
My mom always did music, and I've always like done music, but I pursued more like acting. And so I've got more of an acting background.
She's very good. She's hilarious.
But I also really love the music side. And so I can play piano some and sing some.
Yeah.
But yeah, my stronger point is acting.
Yeah.
And you guys, so you incorporate, you know, your skills, your abilities, your talents into like your own families, and through the channel, you're hoping to help others implement this same thing into theirs, right? Like how would they use your channel and implement what you're sharing into their own family activities and stuff?
Well, in my house growing up, I have 4 little sisters. I'm the oldest of 5 girls. And my mom was a voice teacher, and my grandma was a piano teacher and a composer, like I said. And all my aunts were teachers, and they all just were musicians. My dad was a singer. I had a grandpa who was a dancer. He'd go around to all the different churches and teach people how to swing dance back in like the 50s. And a grandma who was a tap dancer. So we were always in plays and doing things together. It was just part of my life. And we knew it was fun. We knew that it brought joy to our hearts. And so much so that we would like race each other to the piano bench to practice. And there were so many times where I got shoved off of that bench, where I was the one doing the shoving so that I could practice the piano. And I know that sounds so wild. That doesn't normally happen. I have a lot of students that it's like, have you practiced? No, you know. But we just saw how much joy it brought our family, all of the members. And it's something that bonded us and had so much fun. And so we would get down, we would play on the piano, or we would do duets. We had a little singing group, me and my sisters. We would sing all over the place, and record things for our grandparents that live far away. And it was such a huge part of my life and brought me so much joy and comfort. It was something I turned to in times of difficulty or in times of joy. And now that I have my own family, I want to have that in my family as well. And it's been really hard trying to find good children's music. I have littles. My oldest is 5. And I've been really disappointed with what I've been able to find. So when we came across this music, it was like a blessing from heaven that I was going to be able to have this beautiful, wonderful spirit in my home all of the time. And my kids will request the songs in the car, or they'll just start singing them all over the place and play the games that we do on the episodes, and they love it. It's brought us, we've had so much fun together. And so we want to be able to give that to other families. We want to provide a better quality score of the music, because some of it's kind of difficult to read. So we've been rewriting the music and putting it online and recording karaoke versions and putting the words on the bottom so people can sing along, and trying to make the videos fun, because we want every family to be able to have that, even if they're not musically inclined. You don't have to be in order to sing. God gave us a singing voice to have joy. He didn't give it to us so that we had to be perfect. Yeah. We just need to connect with each other and our families, and music really opens the door for that.
It really does. Yeah. I mean, I've experienced it myself. I know that we've all experienced it at church. Like maybe not every single hymn, but there are times when you're just like really in that mood, like the Spirit's like really hitting you, and just everyone singing together like really produces a really powerful spiritual experience. But other places too, like in the army, you know, marching or running in formation, you know, you have your cadences that you sing, and sometimes it's just kind of a chore, but other times like it really like inspires you, and it helps you feel united with the other members of your platoon or company or whatever. So yeah, music is huge because it literally harmonizes everybody as everybody participates in whatever the song is. And man, I really wish I had, I wish I had that talent and ability, but I've never been able to, like, for example, tune a guitar. I took beginning guitar, but I couldn't tune it with like just by listening to the, like trying to do it. But yeah, that's really neat. So excuse me. And so you have like, so you have songs, and what other kind of things are you doing? Like, I think you had said that there's like other, you have other stuff outside of YouTube that you're doing.
Yes. We started a Patreon account. And so we have one subscription so far, and it's called The Historic Family. And you get 4 songs a month with the audio, and you get coloring pages with each of the songs. You get 2 historic crafts, 2 historic games, because we have a lot of old books. I don't know if you can see it over there. I have tons of really old books I like collecting, and 2 historic recipes, or 1, I can't remember. And then I can't remember what I've already said, but just a lot of really fun things for the family to do together and to learn together. And Rochelle's working on one as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And yeah, I don't know. Yeah, this should be good.
Yeah, hers will be more based on like art and literature.
Yeah, because the last few videos I did, it's some of these old songs paired with art, like classical art. And so it's just kind of really fun to, as far as like using it just as an everyday sort of thing, like if I know personally, like when my kids were a little bit younger at that age, there's some times where you just need like 5 seconds so that you can help another child or something or whatever may be going on. And so you like give them something to watch for a second because it's like an emergency minute.
Yeah.
And so like you want something still to be good. Like, you know, you don't want to give them something that's going to be
That you can trust.
yeah. And so I made these just short videos that have a song, and it's really fun. And then it has these beautiful paintings along with the song, and it has the words. And I feel like it's pretty engaging, and my kids made them with me and really enjoyed making them.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, it's really fun. And we're getting a Spotify account. I've started putting on songs because my kids are starting to want to listen to them, but I don't want to have to go through all of my YouTube videos. So we will be having a Historic Harmonies Spotify here soon. That is up and coming. And we hope
oh, go ahead. Yeah.
Sorry. We hope in the future we'll be able to reproduce some of these music books in their entirety, so that people can buy them again. You can find them online. They're free for everybody to use because they're over 100 years old, but they're kind of hard to read. And you'd have to print out page by page. So we're hoping that in the future we can do that and provide different like bundles or packets for people to do, like the Historic Patriot, and do a bunch of 4th of July type music, or, you know, historic science or whatever, so that families can get on if they're bored and find something that they can do with each other, or grandparents can get on and find songs that they can sing with their kids. And you made a comment earlier about really not maybe being able to sing very well, not being able to tune the guitar. And that's why I think some of this music is so important, because as a voice teacher, I hear it all the time. Like, oh, I can't sing. You know, I'm not going to sing at church because I don't want people to hear me. I can't sing on tune. I'm tone deaf. I hear it all the time. 99% of people aren't tone deaf. And if you're thinking you're tone deaf, you're probably shaking your head at me. You're probably not. But
I'd like to believe that. I would like to believe what you're saying.
Yes, I believe in you, Jared. But there's not a lot of experience. It takes practice. And these beautiful, simple melodies that teach gorgeous things can be practiced not only for your children so that they can sing and find that joy, but also for you. So you can practice with these fun, simple things, bonding with your kids and playing games with them.
I'll have to think about that. Maybe I do need to practice some more. One thing I've always struggled with is like reading notes. Like it makes like no sense to me. I don't understand how in my mind I could associate like the different notes with like what they sound like. I've never been able to do that. But it's really neat that we live in this day and age where it's like the power isn't just with studios anymore. Like you don't have to rely on movie studios or the music industry for music and entertainment anymore. Now we have things like YouTube, which allows, you know, anybody to produce content. And there's, you know, we're not so reliant on this like bad entertainment, or like even like when you have like good movies, good music, usually they find a way to like mix in the philosophies and stuff like that. But now like we can like cut that out and do our own things, but it does take people that are willing to do it like you. And so that's one of the blessings I think of right now. Like a lot of people like get angry at YouTube and they complain against YouTube or other platforms, but there is a good side to it. If it wasn't for YouTube, I'm thankful for YouTube, because if it wasn't for YouTube, I wouldn't be able to do this channel. You guys wouldn't be able to do that channel, but we have to like take advantage of it, you know? Because like, again, I can't even remember the last movie that I went to go see. I think it was probably Top Gun. And I think I don't even know how long ago it was, because there's just nothing good being made anymore. But it's because I think there's a lot more people like us that are producing stuff that's drawing people's attention away from all that.
I think so too.
Yeah.
We're super low budget. We don't know what the heck we're doing when it comes to the camera side. We ran into so many hiccups. There was one I did that I recorded a bunch of videos all at once. And I went back and there was like a little hole in my knee and the bottom of my garments were showing. And I was like, oh, and I had to go through and blur out my knee, like through like 4 different videos. It was so obnoxious. So we really don't know what we're doing, but we hope it'll bring joy to families.
Yeah. And it's more real too. I think there's like a charm to that. Is it's more real. It's not so scripted. It's more genuine. I don't know. Okay, and there was like a second coming aspect to this, like that we kind of talked about. Like we don't know when the second coming is going to happen, but hopefully soon. I think a lot of people that watch this channel think it's going to happen sooner than later. So when you think about your channel and this content and entertainment that you're producing, how do you feel about that in the second coming and maybe the early part of the millennium?
Well, I have some thoughts, but first, what do you think? Do you have any?
Well, so that's part of what I feel like so many hearts are getting really hardened right now because of all the, difficulties and things that people have, and also just the way that culture has kind of generally gone, like with the music and the media and kind of the really, especially I feel like for children, the super fast paced and attention grabbing things that like there's no like peace, there's no quiet in the mind or the heart, and so that was something that really drew me in with these different things, like these older songs and the art
Stories.
and the stories and all of these things. It was like all of a sudden it's like you just kind of turned all that noise off, and then you just feel peace and
You're happy.
And yeah, and I think that's really what it is that makes you be able to connect with your children or have a better spirit in the home, is that there's just the peace that comes. And yeah, and so like as far as sharing it with other people, I feel like it's such a blessing because like you can't really, like it makes it so much harder to come to the Savior or to feel the Spirit if you're constantly having noise, like just that internal stress or noise going on. And so when you're able to have that connection, that peacefulness, then you can better connect with the Savior.
Yeah.
And I've noticed that with me, and I noticed it, like children are so receptive to the Spirit, I feel like, and like it's amazing to me to see when I've shared it with my children how quickly they connect with that as well, and just like it's almost immediate. And so I love the idea of being able to share that with other people, almost as like a missionary effort, as a way of helping people connect with the Spirit, and through that connect with the Savior. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it's something for children of all different denominations and families, even if you don't really have a religion at all, because this music, like she said, it touches your heart and it opens it for more beauty, for the discoveries of God, and being able to feel the Spirit. And I think the parents are such a key role in this and participating. It's not just turn on the YouTube channel and play the songs, which you can do, and which I do quite often at my house, but also participating, singing with the kids, connecting with their heart. Because I do believe that when Christ comes back, the majority of the education, it won't be like public so much as community and family based. And so we want to prepare, and we have like a mother's corner we're working on for mothers and parents or grandparents. We want to prepare the hearts of the parents so that they can connect and learn how to teach their children and influence them through the Spirit. So many of these songs are about God's creation, and it's so easy to feel the Spirit when you sing them. And we want us to all get used to that feeling so that when we are in the millennium, it just comes naturally and we can influence others for good.
Yeah. And it does seem like that's the way that things are going to go. I did a video where there was this interview with Alvin R. Dyer, who was a member of the first presidency, and he did a lot of stuff with the land in the church lands in Missouri. But he was being interviewed about New Jerusalem and education in the millennium. And that's essentially what he was saying, that there's probably gonna be like a transition period, but like the idea is that you would teach your children. And so yeah. And I think that we all need to keep learning as adults as well. I think some people like they just stop. So we need to like educate ourselves and continue learning throughout our life, and then have that knowledge that we can teach our children. And yeah, who knows? There's probably gonna be a big demand for your type of content in the millennium, because Hollywood, I don't think is going to be around, at least not the way it is now, or the music industry. So someone's got to step in and fill that void of entertainment. And so yeah, it's like important right now because the last days it's just getting darker and darker. And so you're providing a light, an alternative to the stuff that's available. And then it's going to be like really important at the beginning of the millennium, because that's all there's going to be. Were you going to say something, Madeline?
Oh, I just sure hope so. I think right now, like the thought of, for a lot of people, of a family or a community-based education is kind of scary because we don't really know. But I think it just starts with the basic things about singing with your kids, enjoying them, sitting down and doing Come Follow Me, and rejoicing in the beauty and God's creations together. And so we hope that we can be an inspiration so that people can incorporate this more into their families.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure that you will be. And what's the future of your channel look like? Is it going to remain just the two of you? Do you see yourself expanding, or like what's like your short-term and long-term goals for the channel? Like, you have these other subscriptions that we've talked about, like Spotify, but what else, or how do you see things going in the future?
I don't, you go ahead.
Well, we hope that eventually we'll have books that will have curriculums. I'm writing a curriculum right now so I can do a couple like mommy and me classes and kids for little kids, classes for little kids. We want to be able to partner with other beautiful things, like maybe Charlotte Mason groups or Well-Educated Hearts, or the Good and the Beautiful, you know, like good places where we can kind of partner with them maybe in the future. That'd be cool. And get some of that music more out there, you know. Maybe figuring out a way to, I'm so sorry about my kids, to figure out a way to bring people in their homes. And whether it's through the Patreon and getting them to play together or cook together and sing. I don't know. I just see this music that has been lost going everywhere and warming the hearts of every family. What about you, Rochelle?
Yeah, I think that's pretty well it. Like mostly like I have like a bazillion different ideas, and it's really just kind of trying to try things out and see what people connect with most, like what is most helpful for people, and then kind of developing that more. And yeah, like partnering with other people, because there's so many people out there who are trying to put good things out there. Like most of the Well-Educated Heart, Madeline mentioned,
we do a lot of that.
Yeah, we do a lot of Well-Educated Heart, and like that's really where this recognition of like being able to put words to a feeling of loss, you know, like of this, you know, like there's not, we're missing things in our education right now, and Well-Educated Heart really put words to it and gave me a lot more understanding. And so it kind of prepared us to be able to do this and to find these things. And so I would love to find more of those people who are trying to do good things and connect with them.
And a lot of people, they had the gift of being able to reproduce the literature, like the classics that maybe we don't hear a lot about. Well-Educated Heart has tons. I'm sorry, this isn't an endorsed plug, but you reread them all the time. They're really cool. But it's just so beautiful, you know. But we have all these, like the literature and the art that's really easy to recreate, but I have not found this music anywhere. No one is recreating this beautiful, beautiful music from over 100 years ago, and it's lost. It's really hard to find, and we want to be those people to bring this music back, just like all of the people we look up to that bring all the beautiful literature and art back and poetry. We want to bring back that music because it's gorgeous. You won't know what you're until you listen.
Well, it seems like there's a lot of potential. It sounds like you're already off to a really good start. And to everybody watching, just subscribe, especially if you have kids. Like, give them another alternative to what's available, what Hollywood's putting out. So make sure to subscribe to them. I'll put the link for their channel in the description box below. You can also go to my featured channels on my homepage. You can find them there as well. But I'm really excited to see what's going to happen with your channel. I think like I said, you have a lot of potential, and there's definitely a need for it, for good, clean, wholesome entertainment.
And grandparents, it's good to turn on when your grandkids come around. You don't have to rely on some of this other stuff. We'll entertain them. Absolutely.
All right, you guys. Well, it was nice talking to you. If If you guys haven't already, please make sure to subscribe, like this video if you liked it, leave your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. If you have any questions for them, put it in the comments of this video, and I'll talk to you guys later.
Thank you.